I started in 1977, and here I am 30 years later and still enjoying it. It's still in my blood.
Like the fictional character Randy the Ram, portrayed by Mickey Rourke in the film The Wrestler, Tito Santana hit his stride in pro wrestling in the 1980s. Now he wrestles mostly on weekends in the local circuit. And tonight in Brooklyn, he will face Kodiak Bear. After he sells a few vintage photos.
Are you from around here?
His passion for the sport mirrors that of the film's protagonist, and he also witnessed the lifestyle's physical, emotional, and financial strains.
It's very realistic. A lot of the guys were not educated, and they did not plan for the future because they thought it was going to last forever. Who can translate this? Me gusta.
But for the most part, Tito Santana has avoided the Rams' fate. He's found a second career as a teacher and lives in a large suburban New Jersey home with his wife of 27 years, Leah. After school hours, he helps out with her salon business.
Thank you, sir.
It's a long way from his humble beginnings as a child named Merced Solis.
Well, I grew up in Mission, Texas, and I started working on the fields since I was in 7th grade. But I started thinking at a very young age that I didn't like being a migrant worker. I didn't like being poor.
He attended West Texas A&M University on a football scholarship, and soon after college began to wrestle.
A good group of guys. We all started pretty much at the same time. Hulk Hogan, Brutus the Barber Beefcake, Mr. Wonderful. We were called the Pioneers. We had no idea that wrestling was going to be as big as it was.
He met his wife while starting out.
Like I didn't have a name yet or anything, so.
I wouldn't have known anyway, I would have.
She wasn't a wrestling fan.
He was cute, okay? So I guess it didn't matter what he did. He was tall, dark, and handsome, right? Muscles, I liked muscles.
Before we knew it, we were doing mostly big shows, big coliseums, and we always had money, and it was an exciting time for everybody, and everybody dealt with it differently. There has been the drug problems, the steroids, and we wrestled 345 days a year, so it was very easy to be dependent on the pain pills. Cocaine, the drug dealers were around at airports waiting for wrestlers because they knew that the wrestlers had money.
In the mid-'80s, even marquee wrestlers worked without contracts. In his prime, Santana averaged $300,000 a year.
There was no benefits, there was no pension. Back then, we really didn't think about it much.
Yeah, but I was saving.
Yeah, well, we did save.
For retirement also.
And I left.
In The Wrestler, Randy the Ram struggles to reconnect with his abandoned daughter.
This was Mark's graduation picture.
But for Tito, family took precedence over the ring.
He called, 2-3 times a day, and they'll all tell you that, he was the only one that would ever come home.
He stopped wrestling full-time in 1993 at the age of 40, and after a few years decided to use his college degree to begin his second career.
Definite article in the plural form, Lord.
But tonight, it's about the wrestling.
This is when I was the world champion for the AWF.
This is great.
Now, at age 55, he wrestles a dozen times a year on average, facing opponents half his age.
The legendary Tito Santana!
It's just it's a great feeling to still be part of it, to be as old as I am. I don't have an ounce of bitterness in me because I did very well for my time.